Hello YouTube! It is yet another horrible cold and wet day here in the UK. With a request from a few people on Fiat Forum, I've decided to do a video of how I put the clock in the dashboard. Now, you can see this here. I had to cut the dashboard out quite a bit to get the clock in. This wire here is just the temperature sensor. I've just ran it down into the bottom of the dashboard, so it gives me my in-car temperature, not my out-car temperature. As you can see, I really butchered the dashboard to get it in. You have to cut quite high up here. As you can see there, look, you have to do it quite high up. I just used a crafting knife. A really, like the ones you get from the pound shop. If you know the pound shop, that is probably the dollar shop if you're in America. Yeah, if these cars are in America, probably not. But or the Euro shop, I suppose. It could be the Euro shop if you're over there across the sea. Yeah, I just cut it out, and here is where the clock is screwed on. This is a Corsa clock from a Vauxhall Corsa or an Astra. They use the same clock called an MFD, multifunction display. The wiring's really simple. I'll give you a link to the place where you can find the wiring in the description. There's only one screw holding the clock in. The rest is pretty much held in by itself because it is such a good fit. Put it in just here. This is actually a hollow part, and underneath that, if I can pull it off, there is just one screw inside that. Stupid camera's not got any focus whatsoever. But yeah, that's what it all is into. You can see I had to cut the clock down a bit to get it in as well. But that's all the modification I had to do, was just that bit there. Just cut this front panel off and down a bit. Around this side, you can see I had to cut out here as well to get it in, and a bit out here. I mean, it's good. I mean, okay, I'm not going to be able to put the old original clock back in when I sell the car, if I sell the car. But I don't intend to. I'll just leave this clock in there. If you've not seen what the clock looks like in the dark yet, in my other video, you can see there looks quite nice. That is just literally inside. It's all been sectioned off. The radio on, chiptune playing. I don't know if I can get the front cover off. Let me show you. Looks like it's going to be a pain to do. But literally here, it's all just sectioned out. As you can see, it's got sections 1, 2 and 3. And where the line is, I just ran cardboard up inside here. It's supposed to be 2 lights, one there and one there. And all I did was I put a third one in, made a hole, put a third LED in, and converted it both to LEDs. And I've got a paper, just a bit of cardboard glued in with the hot glue gun into that one to section that one off. And then just one here to section that one off. So I've used the 2 original holes where the lights went. So I've got 1, 2, and the third one just put in here, which is what that black tape's covering up. You can just see the blue glow from the LED. Excuse me. That's pretty much it. As you can see, like I say, I really had to cut the dashboard out a bit, but it fits in really well. And when I put the surround back on again, I haven't screwed it on because, like I say, it actually fits in there and looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than the standard clock. And the dashboard does all fit in quite nice with it on. The only awkward thing to do is, with this, when you're in the driving position, and you sat back here, and you're, turn my lights off, save me battery, and you're back, if you don't get the angle right, it's a very, very dim display. You can't see what it's saying. You've got to try and get it as flat as you possibly can, sort of like 90 degrees with the say the floor of the car. You want to try and get it as flat as you can, not at an angle. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be like that. So that's the reason why I had to cut the dashboard out at the top here to get it in. I also took the little plastic strip out as well. If you know the Cinquecento, there's a little strip of plastic here that goes across the top. I have still got it, but I've misplaced it somewhere. It's running around the car in the footwheel somewhere. I'm not sure where. But yeah, And another thing I did while I was in here was just change the bulbs on these because the bulbs went on them, and give the switches a good clean with contact cleaner, as they were messing up. But yeah, other than that, it's not bad. The car's done 65,000 miles. That's not bad. And I've done 262 litres, 262 miles on a full tank of fuel, and I've got that much left. And that's actually had 5 litres of 5 litres put in it. It's a little bit down because I am parked on a pretty good slope, which is a bit of a pain. Say even the dashboard looks nice, but you can't. Say I've got locks on the that are widening. That's a nice toad alarm. It's a lovely little thing, that is. It was originally wired into the Vauxhall Corsa, but turn that on up. That's all nice. Green LEDs, one blue LED which I had left over, and the rest are all green, and that one's gone out. Of course, it's not making a contact. That doesn't matter. You can still see it there at night time. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty good. That down there is my battery charge controller. That puts the power down to the battery that's in the boot. I don't know if I've showed you that one yet, but I've got a battery in the boot to run my radioamateur equipment should I ever use it, and that's where obviously my radioamateur faceplate goes, and the radio goes in the back, but it's all in the house at the moment. New radio yet again, another radio. It's not in properly, but it's just bodged in. But yeah, that just thingy. I'll give you a demonstration of that actually while I'm at here. And I'll start the car up and show you what it does. So I've got a switch on it, which you can switch it off like that. That's on ignition mode. So on the ignition, it comes on with the ignition like that. Or I can choose to have it completely off, so it doesn't come on at all, like that. Or I can choose to have it on manually without the ignition coming on, like that. So I can choose to bypass it completely, to have it on all the time, or to have it come on only with ignition, which is great for when you're charging the battery up, for if it's flat, for instance. But the cool thing is, like now for instance, I'll put it on and go to start the car, and I don't know if you can pick the needle up on that because it's a bit glary. Let me turn the brightness down a bit. There you go. There you go. You can see the needle now. My door's just locked, and I'll go start the car up, and you can see it pulls power from the back of the car to help start the to help crank the car over, and then it goes and switches it over charging mode. Now the meter's only rated for 50 amps, but I went ahead and made my own shunt for it, so the actual scale is about 200-ish amps. I've not quite got the full scale of it. It's only there just to tell me a rough estimate of you know what I'm doing, for instance, like on my radio and whatnot. And I've got some homemade switches here which control my various lights in the floor. One for the roof lights and one for the floor lights, and that's again a 3-way switch, so I can have them on all the time, off, or only when the ignition comes on. That button there, which I presume on the very first Cinquecentos that would be for the choke, but that button there is a cut-off switch for the sub I've got in the back of the car. I don't really use it that much. I'm actually considering selling it, because I never really use the sub. But yeah, just a quick 8-9 minutes, I suppose. Probably won't let me upload it this big video, just to show you some of the stuff. I'll probably have to cut the video into 2. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. I'll just show you what's in the boot. Ugh. Lovely English weather. There you go. It's very fitting for this car, that is, look. And the sides of the engine. And I've got a subwoofer in there, the battery that's in the back, which plugs into my radio equipment. The radio sits here, just here. It's like a little thing. It's just handy. I mean, There's going to be keys. This is all the stuff that plugs into it. That's the microphone cable. That leads down, all the way down to the front there. And where you can see the green light, just next to the gear stick, just this side of it, it comes out. And you can have your microphone and hook it onto the, just nicely onto the ashtray there. It works really well. Got a little bit of a toolkit in there, just in case, you never know. An impact wrench, which has been stolen from my dad. But yeah, so I was a bit annoyed at the pod shelf when I first got the car. It had some horrible holes cut in it, but I just filled them with some speakers from my old car. And then just put the pirate flag over the top of it because I are a pirate. Look, that looks really good in the back window. When you look at it from the front of the car, let me see if it works. You look at it from the front of the car, look. Oh, you can't see it. But you can look through and that pirate flag reflects brilliantly off the back of the car. So yeah, that's my my car and some of the mods. Notice the headlights. One of them is one from a sporting, and that one there is just a standard one. They both need replacing because that one's rusty and it leaks water. That one is not rusty, but the reflector's gone. Mind you, the reflector's gone on both. They're dead loose, so they both need replacing. That light at the bottom there needs taking off, otherwise it's going to get wrecked. I never use it. It's not even wired up. It's a Night Rider effect light that I put it on but never wired it up. But yeah, other than that, it's yeah, it's pretty good. Not bad at all. Well, I think that concludes this video. So yeah, peace out guys, thanks for watching.